This is fucking visualization. This is what it's for. Spacewalker day 12. This is already complicated. Have I got that right? I've fucking confused myself already. Oh, this is fun, isn't it? This is gonna be fucking wicked.
My name's MX Bell and I work on all these things, and I'm here to teach you how to make films in Unreal Engine. Welcome to Realtime Workflows.
Spacewalker video diary. I keep forgetting to do them. Not the one for a few days, so let me try and go over some of the stuff that I've been doing. I've done updates to the Canadarm to fix get a gimbal lock issue. So gimbal lock is where you're trying to rotate in one axis, but rather than going that axis, it goes every axis. It ultimately gets to the right place, but it goes the wrong way. I'll show you what my solution was for that. First thing we're going to see, if we go to Canadarm, go to import Canadarm. So the first thing is I fixed the rig by taking these controls, and all I was missing was this use preferred rotation axis. So it was just because I forgot the preferred rotation to Y, Z, X, which means it takes the Y first. They're all Y rotations, but it's not using the preferred axis. So once I checked that, it worked, so that's all good. I also made this APF restraint. Now, I forget what APF stands for. Let's just find out what it is. Articulating Portable Foot Restraint. That's what this is. So this is a meshy version of it from photographs that I I found online and fed in. This is quite niche knowledge. It took some research to find this out. Obviously this will be modeled by a real 3D modeler for the final film, but for now it's just for visualization purposes. It is a meshy model that I've rigged, so it's got joints in it and it moves thusly. I also made a control rig for it. And then I added it via means of a blueprint to the Canadarm. So we can see here, it's up here at the end of the Canadarm now. So that's where it lives, but it's two separate control rigs. And we can see now if I come to sequencer, my Canadarm is gonna move, but it's also gonna move my fella, and my fella has a new outfit. So Tom has a new outfit. He has the NASA-style outfit that I'd been eyeing up. So it doesn't quite fit in perfectly yet, and I don't think that's the right stance now. Sort of that kind of stance suited the lankier model I was previously using. You see his head sitting too high in the costume and stuff. That'll all get fixed. The previous costume was volumetrically wrong. These are so much bigger. Like when you come around here as well, like he's such a different size that I was worried it was going to affect shot compositions and things like that, and I just thought actually it just needs to look like he needs to be the real astronaut. He's missing a couple of other bits that go on his front chest I haven't added yet. This belt thing will ultimately, that will be simulated and will float, as will a couple of other bits and pieces, so we'll have some kind of like, you know, secondary motion going on. But there he is anyway. It's looking pretty good. I say his head's sitting too high in it. I couldn't add it as a cloth asset. I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. I need to investigate this some more. Basically, once I can add this as a cloth asset to the metahuman, it will fit in perfectly anyway. Quite why it's not doing that, I'm not sure. I haven't yet resolved it, but the workaround was to put it into the blueprint like the old metahumans. So that still stands to be changed down the line. And then this is my Canadarm action, and I've got a couple of cameras in it. So here's one of the cameras. I'm actually trying a black eye camera. So there's a solution called Black Eye. I need to email Adam actually and tell him that I'm using it. He's the one who gave me the license to try out. This camera over here on the right is not correct. It's just one I've constrained to his head. Probably going to use the Black Eye system for that as well. The reason I went with Black Eye, the reason I'm going with Black Eye for some, if not all, the cameras, is purely this issue of rotations. When we're talking about completely 3D space with no up or down, I need to be able to roll the camera sort of independently and without gimbal lock occurring. The same issue I had with the Canadarm. This is quite nice where it comes up here. I don't think this shot will be in the film in its entirety, but it's quite nice. There's a gap in the metahumans we can see, but again, it's not perfect and not final. Updated materials on the interior airlock. Let me come over and show you the airlock now. So if you remember what it was like before, I've put the cap on it, the lid. So the lid's there. but now it has textures on the inside, so it's a little bit more pleasant. Still very basic, it needs to be updated, as does most things, but the point is, as ever, remember, to start being able to make shots, and that always has to be the goal, is to start making shots. I think the only other thing I did that was of note is I tidied up my import folder, which is something that I haven't really bothered with before, but I start to feel like actually this is probably a good idea to keep things in their own categories here. So wardrobe, for example, contains a NASA outfit. Vehicles has got the actual space station in, and props currently contains the Canadarm and the foot restraint and things like that. So that is what I've been up to in the last few days. So I'm having the day off tomorrow from this because I've got other stuff I need to do. And I'll probably be back a day or two after that to carry on. But it's going well though. All right, Spacewalker production diary, day 12. I thought I'd just kick this off. It's not really a diary. I'm just gonna live stream what I'm doing because I'm about to do some maths in real time, and thought it might be good to have on video. So as much as I like my environment here, it is just an image. I can't really do much with it. It is not going to move ever. It's kind of useless. And the thing that I was struggling with was how to visualize what is actually happening around the station, because it's potentially important plot points about like what's visible, what the sun's doing, all this kind of stuff. So I thought I can't visualize it. I need to know what it looks like and what it feels like. So I'm gonna have to do something. Can't just keep this here because it wouldn't be daytime like this for the entire time. There is no 80, 90-minute period on the space station where it just looks like that. There's day phases and night phases every 45 minutes. So we're going to go through at least one. Actually, we go through an entire day and night cycle in the 90 minutes of the film, assuming it's 90 minutes, which is probably what it's going to be because it seems too obvious. Earth, the station orbits the Earth an entire cycle in 90 minutes, which is too delicious when you're talking about a feature film to not do in 90 minutes. So therefore, there's no point trying to make a 70-minute version of this. Might as well make a 90-minute version of it, and then you get the complete cycle. Have I got that right? Not only do we do a complete day-night cycle, that's because the sun is. I fucking confused myself already. It all happens in 92. The complete cycle in 92 minutes, basically, is 92 minutes. Right, which means so. The station is orbiting the Earth is orbiting the sun, but I need the station to be completely static at the world origin, which means everything else has to happen around it. That's what I'm getting to. So I downloaded a new asset. If I turn off my HDR planet, sadly, and bring this one in, it's not as good an asset, but it is fully 3D. Right, so in that case then, let's go and do some maths. I've made a level called science stuff. Okay, and I've inside my outliner, if I just go only in current level, I have made an offset here right at the world origin. So it's at the world origin that rotates the entire universe, including the Earth, the sun, the moon, and the stars, everything. Then underneath that, this thing, everything but Earth, would rotate everything else. So Earth is rotating on an axis underneath us, and it's going to do an entire 360-degree rotation in 90 minutes. Let's call it 90 minutes just for the sake of, because 90 feels like a better number. So 360 degrees in 90 minutes means it's going 4 degrees a minute. Okay, and 4 degrees a minute. Which means it's too early for this. 90 minutes times 60 seconds. 5,400 seconds at 24 frames a second is 129,600 frames. So 129,600 frames. That's the timeline of the entire movie. If we hit play on that, it would take 90 minutes to run through. So if this thing rotates 4 degrees a minute times by, why can't I do maths? So this is why it's worth recording. Right. Why can't I do maths? Add this. Add Earth. to this. Add a transform track. Right, rotation. Let's go a minute in. So a minute is 60 times 24, 1,440. I should know that by now. So we could go to 1,440, 1,440, and set this, I guess this one. It probably matters, doesn't it? Fuck, why don't I know that now? Wow, which is the front of the station? Jesus Christ, it's the front of the station. It's technically, the front side, the station travels from west to east. There's Africa, there's Italy, there's Britain. Right, okay, so this is the front, I think. That makes sense. This is the Russian bit. So that's the front, and it goes west to east. Travels from west to east. Right, so it's traveling from west to east. It's going that way. Okay, so west to east is the roll, it looks like. There we are above Britain. So if we kill these, move this back, say we start there, then we come to frame 1,440, and we've moved 4 degrees that way. Yeah, there you go. We're moving 4 degrees this way. So it was on minus 60. Oh, this is already complicated. If we come to sequencer curves and do this, transform, rotation, roll, everything should be on. Yeah, so there's only roll. Set this to linear. Again, the old infinite two keyframe trick. Linear, linear. So now, in theory, the planet will run like that, and when we're watching the film in real time, it's going to look like that. Okay, that's cool, that's fine. So in theory, we do that, and then we get all the way back to here by the end. Yes, okay. Now, everything else is going to rotate the same way. So we're going to do the same thing again, 4 degrees. So 1, 2, 4. And then go to sequencer curves, everything but the Earth. Rotation. Okay, this one, there we go. And then go linear, and curves, linear, curves, linear. Okay, now, what should happen now is that this should, as I scrub, the sun should set somewhere. There it goes. Now that's exciting. That's exciting. Oh, yeah, look at this shit. And then it should come back. Yes. And that's what's going to happen. Now that is fun. And then the other thing will happen is these solar panels, I'm going to rig this now. That's the other thing I'll do today. I'll rig this. But these solar panels will then follow the sun like that. Oh, this is fun, isn't it? Oh. So right now the solar panels would be facing, they're probably correct right now, more or less. That's probably correct. Oh, look at the light. Woof, it's gone. Apparently this should happen in like 30 seconds or something. Apparently, when it goes down, it'll go from having light to nothing in 30 seconds. Let's see. Should be timing it. I'm not timing it. This is gonna be wild. So that's now. So it started to dip down. Still got light. Look. Look. See, this is fucking visualization. This is what it's for. Look at that. This is gonna be fucking wicked. It's pitch fucking black. Pitch black. Okay, so next stage of this is exciting. This is exciting. I'm gonna put my clouds back on. Clouds, 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 clouds. Tempted to do a complete time warp of the whole thing. That's gnarly. That is fucking gnarly. This just means there's gonna be so much going on all the time. It's so much fun. Okay, pretty good update. Maths and science. Maths and science.